Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Chirping on Causeway. My name is Liv, and you can find me on Twitter at Front Frederick. And today I have four really special guests today, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves. So,
hi, I'm Alicia.
Hello.
My Twitter is Alicia May 31.
I'm Natalie, and on Twitter I'm NatalieZico7.
Hi, I'm Jill, and on Twitter I am Jillian 2N's Dubuque.
And I'm Abby. You can find me on Twitter at AbbyPomeroy1.
And as always, this podcast is brought to you by ESCN_617. You can find them on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all of the things. So, yeah, I'm excited to have my girls on tonight. We've became friends over Bruins Twitter and just our love for the team and the sport. So, yeah, you guys want to, should we hop into give a little background to ourselves, favorite player?
Oh, okay.
Favorite, just a little basic. Yeah.
Like favorite player, just favorite
Maybe
player.
we can do favorite player and then favorite. How about this? Favorite Bruin and favorite non-Bruin? Do we want to do that?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Me
Do-
first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, my favorite player, Bruin player, is Charlie McAvoy. And my non-Bruin, oh my God, that's so tough. I'm going to say Jake DeBrusk.
Valid. My favorite Bruin player is Matt Patra, and my favorite non-Bruin player is also Jake DeBrusk.
I don't really have a favorite Bruin player right now. We're a little bit, we're still getting over, the trauma. Honestly, I think Kastelik, I very much like I'm a nitty gritty, so he's a nitty gritty. He brings the heat, he brings the fire, and then obviously, respectfully, Jake DeBrusk.
Naturally.
I am a lover of the goalies, so I got to go with Jeremy Swayman for Bruins. And then non-favorite Bruin, I don't have any, so I'm going to go to the Swedish Hockey League and say Oscar Steen, R.I.P.
R.I.P. a legend.
Clicks for Oscar.
Thanks for Oscar.
Couple clicks in the chat.
We went through it this summer, this trauma. Jake DeBrusk, Steen, a whole bunch of the faves leaving.
Yeah.
Trauma.
Oh, yeah.
Liv, you want to answer the question?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and avoid that. Okay. My favorite Bruin is definitely Justin Brazeau. No, I'm kidding. My favorite Bruin is
Quiz.
Oh my God.
And my favorite non-Bruin, Kirill Kaprizov. Sure.
Ooh, that's a good one.
No, it's
Go with
a tough question. That's a tough question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to say who your least favorite player is.
Oh, yeah.
We won't do that. Why not? No, I'm kidding.
Maybe later.
Maybe later.
We have the first game of Four Nations tonight. What is everyone thinking? We excited? I've heard some people are excited and some people are like, man, I don't actually really care for this little mid-season tournament.
I personally think it's but a different mix to the All-Star game.
I agree.
Yes, the All-Star game is good, but sometimes, it's the same. So at least this breaks it up, spices it up a little bit.
Mhm.
So I'm excited.
The players seem more excited about it than the All-Star game,
Yeah.
so I feel like
Yeah.
that's always a positive.
Yeah.
I do just think it's unfortunate that they only could choose 4. Like, there's so many players that clearly wanted to play and represent their countries and didn't get to. So I think if they continue to do it, doing a different way each season so that different countries are represented would be probably the best way to move forward.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like it better than the All-Star break because watching the All-Star game is painful at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's just not as fun. The All-Star game gets repetitive sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
They try to make it different, but to grab your attention. But I think this is going to get a lot more people more involved in watching it. I think
Yep.
a lot of people are really excited about it.
A lot more viewers.
Yeah.
We have our first comment. Hello,
Hello.
Eric.
Hello.
So happy to have you with
Well.
us. Have anything to, I don't know, I always say if you got to fact check me, someone toss it in the comments because I'm always gonna slip up here and there.
Valid.
Are you guys excited for obviously the USA games, but what other games do you think you're most excited about?
I think tonight is probably Canada versus Sweden. Even though I don't think Sweden will win, I'm going to cheer for Sweden this tournament. It's the first game. I feel like it's a good way to kind of get a feel for how hard the players are going to go. Because sometimes, I mean, I wouldn't want to get injured, especially with so many of these players on playoff potential teams. So I think it'll just be a good indication of what kind of we're going to see throughout the tournament. So I think tonight will be fun.
Bobby's fan of
Another one for the rat.
he's gonna
Canada. Isn't he Canadian though? So naturally he's gonna
Yeah.
I think I'm going Canada tonight just because
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
Marsh
go
and
for
whatnot.
Canada.
I feel like it'll be a good opening.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
excited.
not hot.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the lines are like, how they're all gonna play together.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that
that'll be
power
cool.
play on Canada. It's going to be
Oh,
crazy.
I saw the power play there. That's
Wild.
And a bunch
whoever's
of them
playing them
were-
don't take penalties.
Yeah.
Right.
They're gonna regret it.
A bunch of them were saying how, or was it Chuck who said, I know we don't like him here, but I think he said like every game is gonna feel like a game 7. Like that's how their mentality going into it is. So at first I was like, oh, this is just gonna be like a little fun thing, and then they're all saying that. I'm like, oh, okay.
No, they're going for it.
They're gonna go hard.
I have his name muted on Twitter, so that's why I did not see that.
Oh,
Both Kachucks are in it.
I know. I was so
A whole
excited
family
to see
affair.
2 sets of brothers, the Kachuk brothers and the Hughes brothers. But
That's so sad. That's upsetting.
it was really cool to
R.I.P.
see.
So
They should
exciting.
have just called up Luke, you know. Made
Right,
it
at least have right.
He'd be like the water boy, the towel boy, whatever. Like,
Oh,
just-
yeah.
Their swap.
yeah, right? What else do we want to talk about? I feel like if you know us in real life, we're always talking. And
Big gappers.
naturally this is a different setting. So it's a little bit weird being on here.
Different yap
Yeah,
session.
just a bit.
Yeah. Any hot topics on your mind? Any thoughts?
Like trades. Do we want to go through trade stuff right
Sure.
away? Get
Sure.
it out of the way.
And
We did get that one question. Should we just do that first? Because that kind of opens the
Yeah.
conversation a bit.
Was there 2 questions
There
within
was 2 questions. Let me see what it
It
was.
was a 2-parter.
Right. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good place to go to. Open up some convo.
Let me find it. Oh, they said we can do both of these for all of us, though. 'Cause
Yeah.
the second one was singled me and live out, but it's just us making that decision. The first question was, what's the one bright spot you have about this mess of a Bruins season so far?
Which I like that question because I'm always like, it's good to,
Be positive when it's been so negative.
yeah. So I like this. I like this question. I won't go first.
Positive. You won't go first.
Mine, I'll say Jake coming back. We only played Vancouver twice in the season, once away, once at home. And this year it was back-to-back months. It was November and December. So it was nice to see him. We did our little wave, got my little puck, made it on Nesson once again. So it was just nice just to, back in, it was a different routine, but it was the same routine. So in the season of, not having the same routine, it was definitely nice to jump back into that and be around all my fave peeps.
Yeah.
My fave player. So that was good.
That was a good night.
Yeah.
Besides,
That was so much fun.
That was a good.
That was a lot of fun.
Minus the Bruins losing, but Jake got 2 goals, so we'll let
So
it slide. It balances it out, It doesn't,
yeah, it cancels it out.
it cancels.
Big time.
Cancels.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like a. I guess one good thing was at first, I know it was more not super controversial, but when Maddie P got sent down, it seemed like he was like a scapegoat at first, like why he was doing okay, but it definitely helped him a lot, and I'm glad they did that. Like, as much as I'm not glad that those people are in charge over me, because I'm like, I could totally make better decisions than them. I genuinely probably couldn't. So I think that was a really good decision, and he came up playing with a lot more confidence. And even now, him going, I know a lot of people are upset about him going back down for the break, but it just makes sense for him to go back down.
Yeah.
And I think he'll just build more confidence, and he's just going to get a lot better. And we've seen like really good spurts of him playing with Pasta, and they're building chemistry. Just the young guys on the team, like just growing this year, because that's really what we have to look forward to.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, Natalie. I think we talk so much about how there's no real like
prospect pool
for this team, but I think where we're having kind of a tough season where maybe playoffs is not a realistic goal, or maybe it is and it's a first round exit, we get to see players like Mason Lorai and Maddie P and Beecher get to play in really tough situations and kind of build that confidence that you don't get on a team that's just constantly winning. So I think it'll, in the long run, help them out a lot. I'd love to see players get called up from Providence a little bit more, especially if they're not going to make a playoff push this year. I hate to say it so early in the season, but I don't think that we'll go far if we make it to the playoffs at all. So I think if we could get like Georgi Merkulov and other players and Fabian Lysell up here, we'll talk about Fabian all the time. Like, he should be up here getting reps on a team that maybe isn't going to be going the distance this season, so that he has the experience when it counts.
Yeah, very true.
A positive, but also Don Sweeney, please listen to me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, please listen to us.
Anybody.
Like, anybody.
Sending him a hate mail.
Like, please call up Prov players.
Yeah.
Alicia, what's your bright spot?
With Hampus being out, to see all the, I'm sorry, Natalie, to see all the different pairings that they're trying, like some obviously are better than others. And then to see like who, like what D pairs stepped up when like McAvoy went out, and like just
the depth on defense.
And
people can jump into those roles.
Honestly, the goalies now are flowing.
Yeah, they're getting more consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm happy with Andrew Peak's game. I feel like that was a surprise from the season. Like, he did have to step up a little bit more than maybe what he was expecting to start the season. I think he's done pretty well with what he's had to do. Right. So
he's holding his own.
Yeah.
I agree with yours. That's what I was gonna say.
Have anything extra?
No.
Go
with the what you guys said. It's pretty good. Ooh, okay. I like this question. Would you guys re-sign Wotherspoon or let him walk? That's a good question because
But speaking of, look at this. Tag on my desk. Oh, that's hard.
I need to look up. Hold on. Let me look up like what he's making.
I forgot he was.
Yeah, what's he?
Is he restricted or unrestricted?
He's probably a UFA.
I'm trying to.
I would let him walk.
I love Wotherspoon, so like selfishly, I want him to stay. But
on a personal, sure, he's a nice kid. We can keep him.
But I feel like
if we're getting someone back in return for him, that's going to help us in the long run.
I'd let him walk.
Yeah,
he's at 800. I mean, 800,000. But I don't know. Okay, he's a free at the end of this season.
Unrestricted free agent. Okay, yeah. So I feel like he might walk somewhere else where he could get more playing time.
Right.
Because they haven't really been playing him.
No, he's
that much. Like, they've been playing Callahan a lot more.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the top like healthy scratches if they're gonna swap.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's probably gonna want to. So if we can package him with somebody to get something, then because that'd be like
definitely if we get
to the deal. I think people would be
like, I think if we could.
And he's older too, so he's more of like a veteran, I feel like.
Great guy though, very nice.
Yeah,
We love Parker.
We love Parker.
I don't know though.
He's at the meet and greet. The entire time, did not move. He was ready for everybody. He
Yeah,
really
it's
was.
hard because this season there's a lot of great players, but what the goal of management is this season is really up for grabs. Is it a selling team or is it a buying team? And I think if they're smart, they sell at the deadline. So I think they've got to kind of part with some of the pieces that maybe we really like, but just don't have the space on this roster anymore.
I agree with what Sully said.
Yeah, gotta let him come
Yeah.
somewhere else if he's gonna be.
Definitely can do it, but we just don't give him the chance to do it.
And once Hampus is
And
back,
that's the
like,
problem. We don't get chances.
we don't give them the chance.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
well, that's been an issue for years. We have players sign and then we
Yeah.
put them on the ninth floor for the entire season, and then they leave.
Everyone's
and
like,
they're all
why do they suck?
Right.
They don't suck. We just don't
Play
give
them one game every
They
year.
play them one game and then bench them for 4.
Right.
So
I would like to see. I'd rather at this point. I don't want to see anyone like walk because we need to like do something about like this team. So I'm always for like if we could like package him, like Natalie was saying, like for something. If we want to package him with a forward or I don't know.
yeah, probably forward.
Not
Yeah.
picks because I mean picks. I don't even care for picks. Like I know
Right.
everyone's like, obsessed with picks, but I really just don't even. So we can give away picks. I don't really care. So
we need picks, but we don't have the GM
Like our
to
picks are
take
gonna
care of it.
Yeah, I feel like
so.
I would care so much more about us getting like first round draft picks or whatever, trading for them or something, like getting them in return for people if we knew how to draft.
or if we use
Like
the
if
ones
somebody
that
else
we
took over
right.
instead of Dawn, maybe, but I feel like I don't even know what Dawn's gonna do because his job's on the line. Like he could go balls to the wall and go crazy.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like it's objectively it is, but I feel like they're just not. I feel like he's gonna try to do something kind of drastic. He's also sometimes sneaky where he gets good people for not that much.
Very quiet.
Sometimes, yeah, like you don't really know what he's doing until like really close too. So
Right.
I could go either way. Either he's just gonna fully give up. What does that say?
I read it and I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh yeah,
Like, I'm not gonna like avoid the whatever.
yeah. That is-
But yeah, I mean like that's it is realistic.
but I just feel like no matter who we get,
I just want to get something that's
Like-
gonna replace
Right.
what-
Don't just get someone to get someone.
Yeah.
Don't go get someone. Get
Yeah.
someone who's going to help us.
right.
yeah, and that we can actually an unrestricted free agent, like we need to re-sign them or they're have like more term on their contract because we just get rentals and then we let good people walk because we don't want to pay them,
Pat Maroon.
and then
We
we end
sign
up
them for a
paying
short amount of
people
time.
who,
Or we sign them for like 8 years.
Yeah.
there's
There's no one.
people who aren't as
the
worth
only- Right. That's the only
Yeah.
range.
I don't
we
want to see
have.
any more no move clauses. I don't want to see any more
Oh
like
my goodness. I could go on a TED talk about take them out,
Everybody has them.
Yeah.
take them out. It's your job.
Right.
Done. I hate them. I hate them. Oh my god.
This is what you sign up
Oh, we
for.
got her started on a roll here.
starting.
I knew that was gonna do it. I was like, what?
What can
What can I say?
I think it's so silly.
I understand them from the player perspective. Like if I was signing with the team, I'd want a long-term contract, especially if I have a family and want to build a life in
Yeah.
a city. No move clauses make so much sense, but we have so many on this roster that it's just not conceivable.
It's an issue.
And it makes the process of trading so much more difficult because then you have to get them to agree and do all these other things. So
Mm-hmm.
Or it's if you want to stay here, then play like you want to stay here.
Mm.
Right.
Make it worth signing you for that long.
Yeah.
Things for that, but we won't do that.
Yep.
What'd she say?
I said we could name a few, but we won't do that.
Oh yeah,
we could.
we could if we wanted to.
we could start listing.
And she's like, "Hey, you'll give me the green light. I'll go with
Yeah,
you."
right. I was gonna say that.
The light is on.
I'm waving my white flag though. I'm not going to.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Anyways,
I think the other question was, who would we want to trade? Right? who do we want to trade?
Yeah.
Or who we should trade?
Trade right now, I think it was.
Was it want or should?
We can do both. Like, who do we think realistically is going to leave? / who, if we,
You
can say it.
Let me say it.
You can say it.
well, the main
what,
two or the main three, I guess, would be Geeky, but he's a restricted free agent, and I'd honestly prefer to keep him.
Yeah.
Because he's still young and he's been playing really well. I don't really want to lose him. I don't want to lose Freddie, but if they're nowhere near
Agreeing
on a contract, then it's like you can't just let him walk for nothing. If they're getting close and they think they're going to come to agreement, then obviously I wouldn't want to trade him. I'd like to keep him.
Right.
And Colby
also doesn't want to trade Trent Frederick.
You know that. Off the table.
Yeah.
Off the table, off limits. But it's the same thing that happened with DeBrusque, right? Like they were in conversations for so long. They let the trade deadline pass, and then they didn't reach an agreement, and he walked. And then we could have gotten so much in return for DeBrusque, but we didn't. So I feel like if they're smart, they don't do that again, because you missed out on a great player that you again drafted and went through the whole
I think that's why I feel like they probably, like, if they're not anywhere close to an agreement, especially near the deadline, that they're going to trade Trent. Another one is Justin Brazeau. He's, how old did you say he was? 27. So he's like the same age as Trent. He's young. He's been good this year. I feel like he is somebody who would have a good amount of interest. I don't think that he would ask for that big of a contract. Like, maybe, you never know, really. But if we can get something for him, I mean,
Brenda said no.
Sorry, Brenda. Like, I'm sorry. It's just, like, if I'm gonna choose one of them, it would be Brazeau, which people would probably like shoot me dead for. But we've seen more of what Freddie can do in a longer span of time. I know this year's he's been not that great or not good, but I also think a lot of players have talked about contract years being difficult. And they're still professionals and they should be able to like play through things, but they're also human. So I think that has to do with it. I also think that the season was just so weird. The start of the season was really awful, and I think it's just trickling over.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Braz would be my first choice.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm definitely not like, I don't like dislike him that much, but he's definitely not.
If someone had to go.
If somebody had to go, like, I would choose him. I'd be okay with him leaving.
And I will say, because he has had a good year, like, his value will just be a little,
higher,
but it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be better than, I'd say, like, him, again, I really don't think, like, we would even try and get rid of Geeky, but, like, he could be a big value piece only because he was heating up there too, and you could package him with, like, you could package him with Parker too or something,
right?
Team, like, I don't even know.
I was just reading this article. It says the Bruins and general manager Don Sweeney have not negotiated with Brazeau since December, not September.
Yeah, I did see that. That was something I saw where I was like,
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter, and then I just pulled up an article. So, I mean, that's also an interesting indicator of where we're at with negotiations.
Like, no one is, like,
no one's talking, right?
No one's,
concerned about getting a contract.
Yeah, right.
Which, like, that says
like, is Don just gonna clear house and we're just gonna?
Can we start with him?
Brenda's gonna come in the chat again. No, absolutely not. Not my favorite.
Ooh, Bobby, with who's your top pick to be the head coach next season?
Yeah, I didn't know if we want to go to that.
I don't even.
I definitely don't think we should keep.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
think we should.
Joe can go.
You love Joe, but not in a head coach role.
Yeah,
clear house with all the coaches too. Peace and love.
Yeah,
like they need to restart.
No, keep Bruins legend Chris Kelly. Everybody else.
Our power plays. terrible. Name Chris Kelly.
It's nostalgic, okay?
I know.
And that's one of the
I
hard
do
things
love.
too, is that the Bruins notoriously will hire within and they'll hire players. So it's like leaving it makes it much more difficult because you're firing not only a coach but also a previous player. So I
He's
think that
so
makes
close
and
with
same with Don
everybody.
Sweeney. So everything's so interlaced and it's such a big deal.
In a perfect dream world, we could have Patrice Bergeron.
Who's
Oh,
available for even to be a head coach?
I don't
Like, what
know.
are the options?
Peter who?
Oh, Laviolette.
Yes.
Oh, I know the story with that. Did she say that on the podcast
I think she said that on the podcast.
about him being at her wedding or something like
wedding when they were both like babies. I'll have to find the picture. I have it somewhere on my phone. And I'll just like randomly put it on my Twitter, and I'll be like, "Peter, you see
What
this?"
you know about this picture?
He's like, "I don't remember." That was probably, I don't know how many years. I don't know though. Like, I feel like, when was it? Like a couple years ago, where there was like 4 or 5 coaches that were like
good?
Yeah.
And now I feel like, I don't know.
Right.
I really have no clue who is even available. So if somebody wants to comment options, I
Right,
can
options.
take them
Right,
out. But off the top of my head, it's not something I've paid attention to since
I think maybe
Right.
Monty got fired.
but I saw a tweet, and I feel like it was Bobby, but maybe it was someone else, said Jay Pandolfo, because also Bruin, ex-Bruins.
Yeah, he did just win the Beanpot.
Right.
Mhm.
So,
I mean, obviously, I don't know if he'd want to leave.
right, doing so well over there, but it'd be a decent.
Welcome to our shit show.
Well, I think that's a really good point. You have to figure out what this team's identity is and what you want.
Yeah.
Because they signed Zadorov and everyone else with this big bad Bruins mentality. That's not the NHL anymore. So either you're going to continue with that and you're going to stay slow and you're not going to be on par with the rest of the league, or
Right.
you got to kind of figure out what the team identity is first and then figure out a coach from there, because whatever it is right now is not working.
Right.
Yeah.
At least we can say though that it wasn't Monty's fault.
It was not.
all of it,
not
not
Monty's
well,
fault.
because
Yeah, no.
he's gone and we're clearly still losing. And
Still,
Yeah, no.
did you
And I
guys
think-
see the list though that went around of the anonymous?
Yeah,
They
Cassidy.
tellers, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
Bruce was number 2. So
Yeah, that was interesting. I did see
maybe
that.
some of the people on our team that didn't really care for him weren't wrong after all.
Yeah.
Not gonna say any names, but you know.
I remember when he got fired and I was so shocked, and I wasn't really on Twitter much. I wasn't like didn't know all the lore between him and DeBrusk, because that's what got like pushed more so. And I remember being like, why? I didn't think he was like I never ever would have thought he was like
Oh yeah, if you were to just meet him, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, what a nice guy he is."
Nice guy.
But then,
Yeah.
we're not behind the scenes. We're not in the locker room, so
Right.
But yeah, that was an interesting thing right behind Tortorella. I was like, wow.
yeah,
Bring it towards.
you knew it was gonna be Torts
Fucking Bruce.
and his track suits.
In his tracksuits, yeah.
He said, "I wear what I want."
He's killing it right now.
Yeah,
I really don't know with coaches though. I don't know what's out there.
It's going to be someone that none of us expect, I think.
Yeah.
You're gonna pull someone from somewhere, and we're like, "Huh?"
Yeah,
Hopefully
literally.
it works out good, because when we got Monty, I was like, who?
Yeah.
Same, yeah,
I
valid.
did not, yeah.
And then we did grow to love Monty very much.
Yeah.
I still
Monty's
that
great.
man. As a human being, love that guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I love Monty.
A gem.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
him
I think-
and Kissel.
just
I think firing him was a mistake that'll carry on for a while, but that's also what Don's third coach that he's fired. And usually at that point, you're not looking at the coach, you're looking at the GM. But
Right.
what do I know?
Right.
What do we
What
know?
do I know?
Okay. What else do we want to? Because we answered 2 questions, right?
Yeah. Go into the game. What were the games since you?
Tuesday against the Wild.
that was a good
Or
game.
was it? It was the Saturday game, the Rangers game, right?
Oh
It was
yeah,
the 2 Rangers games, the Wild game, and then whoever we just played.
Vegas. Speaking of
Yes.
them,
Vegas. That game was not. Oh, two Rangers games. because they did the back-to-back.
This is actually mad funny. Because, I mean, he
Oh.
did.
Wow. Oh, I think I remember him tweeting that. I'm being like, what?
I was like, you're crazy, Bobby.
He's usually he ends up being, like, pretty spot on, too.
Yeah. Maybe he's an insider.
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 He's an insider.
Put it in your bio, NHL Insider.
He starts posting like
Time
Kevin
of the year.
Yeah.
We
Those-
started off like good, and then they just went downhill for those games.
What did we get? 2-2? 2 losses, 2 wins, or did we get?
There was
Yeah, it was 2 and
4
2.
games, right?
I feel like they can't get more than 2.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, that's how it,
Yeah, we have a really strong game.
reload.
And it's open practice.
yeah.
That's what I do not get about this team whatsoever. One night they can look so good, and literally 48 hours later, I'm like, who is in these uniforms?
You see it more
Snatch
especially
their
on like
soul.
back-to-back games.
Yes.
And a couple like we have one directly the next day, and just like the complete difference in the team, you really don't know what you're gonna get.
Right. And I know it's like, they can be tired, they can be drained, but it's like this is so dramatic, such a dramatic difference. I've never seen it this intense before. Like it's literally so it's not even like, oh, they're a little off. It's like this is a 12-year-old team right now.
Right.
Trying to
Who am I
play.
watching?
Yeah. So I just don't that's what I really, really, really I don't get, like where that disconnect is. Like
I just remember thinking like a couple years ago, or even last year, honestly, even though last year we did let up like last minute goals, I feel like quite a bit. This year's really bad. But I feel like it would be to the third period and we could be down 3 goals or like 2 goals. Even for the past like 3 or 4 seasons, I would be like, oh, like we'll tie it. Like I had such a confidence in them, like just buying in and like coming back. And this year, it's like every time I'm like, there's just no way. Like I have no faith that they're gonna come back from being down.
Like
I feel like it's totally switched now that I'm like, we are up at the third, and I'm like, well, we're gonna lose the game.
Yeah,
right.
So it's like,
immediately negative. I'm just like, well, what's gonna happen now? And then we take like a stupid penalty or something.
Or like a lot of our goals too, I feel this season are very short-lived because like we'll score and then like the other team, like I think someone on Twitter's tracker of like literally Ty's literally keeping a tracker of because it happens so often.
About to be 2 stages.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like almost like they have an overconfidence after scoring, and they just like think that they can kind of slide by, and then immediately.
Yeah, like literally the next year.
Even we're up 2 goals, like we're up goals, and they're playing like it's what, like you just said, like it's whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're fine.
La-di-da.
Like no, you still have to.
Yeah.
Like you guys need these points.
Yeah, and like at one point in the season, I felt like they couldn't even make a strong pass. Like I was like, do we just need to go back to basics? Like what is happening?
Right. It's not like we're comfortable and can just like throw some of these games away. Like some of the games that we actually need the 2 points, we don't even get 1.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so interesting down the stretch because, like Abby was saying about playoffs,
I don't
like,
think
even if we make it, like I genuinely don't think we're gonna make it past the first round.
No.
Yeah.
No.
we would be lucky to see 6 games, not even 7.
Right.
Yeah, no, I just don't see it happening.
That first round.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Like,
like,
part of me is like, just
yeah.
And like I
make
think
it.
it's too like being selfish as a fan, like honestly, like I'd rather you just end it regular season.
Right.
We don't have to spend money for the playoffs, and I'm not going to get disappointed.
yeah.
Like, don't hype us up and okay, say they make it to the first round, and then you're just going to blow it again in the second round, or you win the first 2 games, and then just ends after that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So at this point, we'd be playing the
Right.
Panthers, right? Because we're most likely we're at this point second wild.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
it?
Imagine though we have that like gritty story though where we just somehow
Come
make
back
it
and
into
like
the playoffs and just go
win
far.
the whole thing, but
I said that to Liv in like November. I was like, what if though? What if we just go and just keep going?
What if
That'd
after
be hilarious.
there's still time? Like, there's still time.
there is.
Yeah, they could all enjoy their winter, their spring break, and then come back
Imagine
stronger.
like right, the 2 weeks off, then like imagine they just like
Like,
buckle down and
Something
just
clicks
the
for
rest
them.
of it.
You heard it here on Chirping on
Yep.
Causeway. If it happens,
Come back to
this
this
podcast
episode.
does have
Back
good
to-
track records with predictions. Imagine.
so
She's like, what can I say?
What can I say?
yeah, I agree. With that too, this is what I would do roster wise. Like if we stay this bad and like aren't even close to a wild card, I say go crazy, bring up all the kids.
Why not?
Yeah.
Give them
Right.
the
If we're not going to make it, if it gets to a
Right.
point where it's just
Right.
clear we're nowhere near making it,
Bring
it's just so out of reach.
literally make it 50-50. I don't
Right.
care
Yeah.
if you scratch.
Like a shadow day, like a step up day.
Literally,
Step up, see what it's
Work
like to be in the NHL
I would
Instead of like the 2 games before playoffs start where then they start
when they
playing.
want to rest everybody else. Right.
Yeah.
and it can be other
They'll
teams.
probably need the points, so I don't even know if they'll do that.
Right.
Yeah, they'll need every point.
More so
down
if
the
it's like
stretch.
completely so far out of reach. If we go on like a really bad losing streak where it's just not even possible.
Like
I die. I can't have that happen.
where are the standings aren't even I can't even find the regular standings right now because it just has the 4 nations. But if we hit like the 20s in the standings, call it, throw in the towel. You know what I mean?
Call it.
Point just
Just a lot like random people. Hey, you want to play a game today?
yeah, right? Just
Meet
Out your
outside the
skates
tea
in
garden.
but
Bring
you're
your
on the ice
gear.
again, like
Bring your gear.
I'll go. I'll lace them up.
I'll drop gloves.
Columbus
Give me a
is
chance.
ahead of
Like
us.
Yeah.
Columbus?
Yeah.
That's like how you know.
honestly, I love that for Columbus though. Like
I
that's
do. I
that's
hope
what
they
a
make it in
story.
as a wild card.
Notice
What?
saying
Oh my god. I don't look at these that often, so probably a good thing I don't.
yeah. I mean, we did lose to Columbus. What 6-2? Was that one of my 6 to my stomach games?
Yes, I think so.
Probably,
Sure
yeah.
was.
I feel
Because
like
they started on
to
a
get
heater.
blown out by Columbus.
We always do.
I think we did twice, perhaps, maybe. This
I
season.
went to Columbus to watch a game and they lost 7-3. Like, and then I passed out at the arena. Different
Mhm.
story. Yeah.
Talk
I just
about-
like don't see this team going far, even if they make the playoffs. So
Yeah.
if I'm done, Sweeney, I'm selling at the deadline.
I'd be selling too.
here's a big one. Bias aside, do you think they're even pondering trading Marchand? Genuinely.
I think so.
You think they're like looking at it?
Doesn't seem worried about it. So it's
He
either
doesn't seem worried
it's
about
either
it, but
they're not, or they are, and he's ready
He
for
has
a
no
change
idea,
of
right.
scenery.
Right.
I could see it.
That's
I
what I
can see
mean
it.
when Don's trying to like do something drastic to like save his ass and save
Right.
his job.
Well, also, like he's wasn't this supposed to be his last season?
Right.
I thought he was going to retire.
Right.
again.
This was the last. This is the last one on his contract. So I was under the impression at the beginning that like he was just going to finish it out, ride out his captaincy, and then sail off into the sunset.
Right.
So what are we trading him for? Like, what is
Right.
another team going to get out of him if
Right.
we do trade him? Like half a
Right.
season?
Yeah.
One, he's going
Well,
to reach on
especially
for
after-
one season.
He had
Right.
so many surgeries this offseason. Like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to
Right.
be playing to this level or thinking that I can compete at this level
Right.
for 5 more years. Like,
Right.
And like as good as he is, like people know his track record. So like, yes, he's gonna be if he would go somewhere, he'll be on a new team. But are people is he still gonna get the same like sort of hate that he would get if he was here? Like, are they still gonna call a penalty just because it's Brad if he's not on the Bruins anymore?
Right.
Would that make a difference to somebody else?
I think also if he's not willing, if he does want to stay here and he's not willing to take a pay cut,
Yeah, that's a big one.
then
yeah.
like there's just no way we're gonna and he should get paid like a good amount. Like his contract now even is like he could have been getting paid more, but he took a better deal to stay here too. So I think he could go somewhere else and probably get more money. Oh, there goes Chris.
Shut up, Chris. Shut up, Chris.
I
But
do.
yeah, if they're nowhere close with like a contract, like clearly he wants to still play.
And like Does he want to just pull a Ray Bork and go try and win a cup? I'd
Right.
be doing like that though.
Twitter would break.
Oh my god, I don't
Twitter
even
would
know.
implode.
I don't even know what would happen.
It would be a mess.
And you know what? I'd say good for him.
Raymond did it, so
Yeah.
worked for him. Maybe.
Yeah,
That'd be
there's
so
very few players on
weird.
this roster that I'm like truly attached to staying Bruins for long term. Like there's not that many on this that I wouldn't be like upset seeing leave.
Yeah.
But that's just me and my cynical self. So
If John trades like any of our young players who have shown a lot of promise, I think
It'll lose my mind.
that's where I'd be like,
Yeah.
yes.
I don't
do you
understand.
think they move Lysell at the deadline?
Mm.
Oh, I'd feel so bad for him, but if he can go somewhere else and
If he
actually
Right, he can go
play, then
right.
good for him.
I would
Yeah.
say go.
Good for him.
I think I said that I forget who I was talking to, but I said that about Merkulov too. I was like, I'd literally be like, get me out of here.
Yeah,
I'm surprised neither of them have asked for a trade, honestly.
Seriously.
Like,
especially Merkulov, because Merkulov's what, 25? 26?
Let's see. Let me
Yeah,
do
I'd
it.
be like, get me out of here.
He's been here for a while.
really?
Right, like let me go somewhere that I can show my potential.
And on other teams, they would be roster players. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the Bruins. He's
Also-
24.
I want to see Merkulov up here
Yeah.
and playing with Mason Lowry because they played together in college and in Providence, and they had a lot of chemistry, and I
Yeah.
want to see them play together. And I think Lysell, was it Lysell who, I don't want to misspeak, but I feel like him and Braz maybe had a lot of chemistry down in Providence. Lysell and somebody, they played on the line together down there. I feel like it might have been Braz. There's crickets, so I might be wrong, but
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember even
I'm
last
not-
year.
maybe it was just Mason and Merkulov. But I think it'd be cool, like you guys are saying, to get more of the younger people up.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to at this point because
Work out the kinks and go from
this is
there.
your future. Like, if they don't have experience playing when they're called up, then they don't
Right.
know what to do. And if you give them one game, like they
One
gave
game
Fabian,
is crazy.
I feel Don is just so like anti-child. is
Child,
the way to
right.
put it. Like he
like,
just
at this
doesn't.
point, they're not children anymore. Like, they're
Like,
24,
we've had them since they were children, and they still
What
don't
does
have the
he
shot.
have against Gen Z? Why does he hate
Right.
Gen Z so much?
Why does he hate us?
Oh,
He doesn't understand TikTok.
he zoomed up those stairs.
Zooming.
Bye.
Gotta go to
I mean, the
practice.
fact that Fabian
that's
Lysell's
a good
first NHL game was this season is like honestly unacceptable.
What'd you say?
Wasn't this his first NHL
Yeah.
game? Like, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And
If
only
I'm that player, I'm
you
calling
didn't
that
even give him a
unacceptable.
chance. No chances.
Like, he's done everything that they've asked in Providence. Like,
Yeah.
you've seen the growth if you've been watching Providence. Like, that kid deserves a shot in Boston, and the fact that he has not gotten it yet is unacceptable.
And I also think too, I would have like backed when we had like Bertie still and like Fliggy, and when we had that core like leadership group, I wish we could have brought them up then too.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
like now, yeah, I guess they have some.
They have people to look up to, but like
It's not the same. Like it's not even again.
It's just not Bergie. It's just not Bergie and
Right.
Laura and them. It's
Pat
just not.
Maroon. I'm gonna bring up Pat Maroon again. Listen,
Bring him
Great.
up.
hi, come back here. Bring up the kids. He's gonna get them in tip-top shape. We're good to go. I'm just saying. Just saying. Get Pat back. Hashtag.
hashtag get Pat back.
Hashtag get Pat back.
Yeah.
I miss Fliggy so much. I love
do too.
Fliggy with all my heart and soul. I miss him.
Here's a question, and I'll go first.
This is gonna be a controversial question. I can tell.
Oh, it absolutely is going to be.
You going first? You know it is.
Yeah.
I probably know what it's gonna be too.
Do you want to guess it, or do you want me to?
No, I don't want to guess it just in case it's not.
Who would you rather have as our captain, Marshawn or Fliggy? I would prefer Fliggy. 1,000%.
I agree.
No. 1,000%.
Yeah, I think.
Would be a whole different team. Dead serious. Peace and love. Smooches.
Yeah.
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 I think he would be more of a captain like Bergie was. I don't necessarily think that Marchand's a bad captain. I think he's just a different captain than what we've had
Yeah.
from Chara and Bergie. So it's kind of a shock to the system on how he runs the team. But I also think you got to kind of put some of it on his assistant captains too. Like,
Mhm.
are they
Sorry.
holding their weight in the locker room?
Sometimes.
Is that like,
Yeah,
know,
that's
like-
true.
Alicia.
speaking of assistant captains. Carlo, do you think he's here at the deadline?
That's a good one, actually.
Ooh, that's
I've been seeing his name a lot.
I've been seeing his name a lot.
You'd have to package him too. You could package
oh
him.
my gosh, Carlo though, Brando.
You
I
imagine
know, he's been with us forever.
That's somebody who I would be like could see as a captain in the future. Like McAvoy and Carlo are two people that are like up there for me for next captains. I love Carlo.
that one.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
That would be
Imagine
crazy.
they package like Carlo and Marshy somewhere. That'd be nice.
Wild.
I'm just theorizing.
Theorizing.
That'd be crazy though.
But like if you have a
Both
team
you
that
guys
has like
would
a young defenseman that really just needs a tutor in the back, like Carlo's a great captain. Like
about teams.
he's someone that can really help build a player.
I just know Don's gonna really scare me when I see those.
I know.
Yeah. I have no idea what he's gonna do.
I feel like it's
And
always
that's
Real
what
quiet.
I
is.
feel like he doesn't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Like I think he's just
Very
like
true.
wakes up one day and it's like, okay, this is what we're doing today.
I'm like, are you picking up the phone? Like, what are you doing right now? Because we're less than a month out and I have seen nothing.
And crickets.
I think he forgot and he put his phone on Do Not Disturb. He's like, "Why?
Real.
You shut it off, dude."
He got
His,
It's definitely shut off this week.
Yeah, right. He's probably like Mexico right now. Like, oh no, he's not.
No.
He's never mind. This is how much I pay attention to Don Sweeney.
oh my God.
He's
He's,
out.
uh,
Like,
he's
green
stuck in
light.
the TD Garden parking garage.
Yeah.
Did you guys listen to his when he was what game was it?
I absolutely did not.
Oh, I muted it.
You didn't? Nobody listened to it?
No, I don't want to listen to him.
I muted it.
Oh, I listened to it just out of spite, just to see what he would say. But he talked about Four Nations for like somebody tweeted, I think they asked him, let's say 16 questions, and he did like 10 or 12 questions about Four Nations and only like 4 or 6 about the Bruins.
Dexter.
Of course, because there's nothing good to say about the Bruins right now.
And he was like, what did he say? He said
he doesn't have
something-
any answers. so
Right.
he can't-
Yeah, he
Yeah,
has no
his-
answers.
Oh, what did he say? And it made the way he responded to the question, I was like, wow, is he going to change nothing and just leave it?
Just doesn't
Like the
get
way
it.
he answered it made me think he's not going to do anything.
He, I
Interesting.
feel like
Or he's just trying to like psych us out. But I don't know. That was like, what?
so.
I love how nobody else.
He's like
I
a
muted it. Alicia's like,
blindness.
I don't want to listen to him
I
talk.
don't want to listen to him yap.
Yeah.
Not my favorite person.
No, definitely not.
What time does the
Not my
game
favorite
start?
person.
tonight?
What?
Mine either.
Does the game start at 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 12 minutes. Does any? Oh, we should ask the chat for score predictions
Score
for
prediction.
the game.
Very big on this.
Who's the starting goalie for Canada tonight? Do we know? Because that's going to change my answer.
Really?
Did they announce it yet?
Probably not.
Oh, that is so cool to look at, though. The
Oh,
logos.
USA and Finland. We know who's starting in those ones.
They said players to watch.
Oh. Coach Sam Hallam confirms Philip Gustafsson as Sweden's starter. And that was at 11:30 a.m.
Incredible. Do we know who Canada's is?
Someone in the chat said they think Bennington.
Oh, then Canada's.
Oh,
Oh,
I hate them.
sorry, Canada, but I hope you get the L.
You know what? I'm gonna say
I hope you get the
I'm gonna say 4-3 Canada in overtime.
Oh.
Ooh, it is the first game, so I feel like OT is a good guess.
Are they doing OT, regular OT, or like is it like Stanley Cup OT?
It's weird OT, isn't it?
Let me
I haven't read all of the.
I looked up the rules and then got a headache.
I feel like it's regular OT. Isn't that what?
3 on.
I feel like yeah. Overtime. Okay, for round robin, overtime will be held in a 10-minute 3-on-3.
Okay.
10
then
minutes. Okay.
The final will be 20 minutes 5-on-5 until a goal is scored.
Okay.
So, because in regular it's 5 minutes, right? So they're bumping
5
it.
minute 3-on-3.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Connor McDavid overtime goal 4-3 Canada.
Ooh, you're guessing game winner too.
I mean, I might place a bet. Who's to say?
The betting is happening.
I'm like, what's the sports book on that one?
I'm gonna go crazy and say 3-1 Sweden, and Nylander's gonna get a hat trick to start the whole tournament.
It's my only
Whoa.
opportunity to get a Nylander jersey, so I'm quite excited about that.
I'm gonna go 3-1. Nylander gets all their goals.
Are you getting a Nylander jersey?
I was thinking about it.
Oh.
I thought about it.
I just love those jerseys. Are just iconic.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, the Sweden jerseys are
The
cool.
Trey Croner jerseys are so good.
Jen! Don't start. Liv might start crying.
That was a one-time event. That was a one-time thing.
I
See,
need to have more than
Oh, Jen.
one. Maybe
We need to get Jen on.
we do need to have Jen
on
on.
the pod.
Jen, will you come on the pod one time? I don't know why I'm
She's
talking. She's in.
Talk all about how much she
Just
misses
feel it.
you.
Pop up in the basement.
Like, hello?
Oh, hey, another. Hey,
Hello.
Hello.
in here.
Everyone's logging onto Twitter to watch the game.
Yeah.
Us instead.
Yeah.
Welcome
We
to
live
the pregame
stream the
show.
game.
Yeah, we're a great pregame.
Yeah, forget whatever's going on TNT. This is the real pregame show right now.
Brenda texted me no, Carlo, when we were talking about Carlo.
Sorry, Brenda, I had to.
She too. She thinks that he's a lifelong Bruin. She's like,
Oh yeah,
I think he
That's
should
what
be.
I want him.
oh yeah, for
So,
sure.
He should be. It's a question of will they let him
Right.
He's
In all
one.
honesty, he should probably just
retire.
just hang him up.
Yeah.
That man
Yeah.
is in custody.
The
Yeah.
head of the
He's
band.
got two little small children that he needs to
Yeah. Think about here.
be coherent for.
Right.
Yeah,
Serious.
that scares me.
Yeah, I saw that. Someone tweeted about it, and I was like, "Oh, I did not think about that one previously."
Yeah.
Right, because you just picked that's just someone that you don't associate not as a Bruin.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like that's a Bruin. Like,
yeah.
Bruin through a Bruin.
Of course.
I love
Obviously.
Rachel. We love you.
Should have all had.
oh, I like that one. Marcia gets a shot on it. Yeah,
Hey.
A short,
Marcia
yeah,
gets
a short
shorty,
handle.
I like
at
that
some point,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be classic.
He's pretty great at those, so
yeah.
Probably
Especially on.
Yeah.
he's just
I would
lucky
love to see that
go
solely
through
to see like Montreal fans cheer for him.
Well,
That's
okay,
gonna be funny.
Like, I cannot wait for that.
I'm going to ask you this too, because I think they asked him on that What's Chaos podcast. They
Yeah.
asked him, like, if the booing during the season has prepared him for when he may get booed.
Yeah, I saw that today. Pete was like, "Well, you're used to it in Boston, so you'll probably still be used to it." I'm
Yeah.
like,
But I wonder if we'll boo. Like, do you think they'll boo Canada? Like, obviously.
Obviously. Yeah.
I feel like Boston fans might boo Marshy like when they play at TD just because it's funny.
Just,
Yeah.
right, and just
Because like
Marcy
he
and,
thinks
we
it's
know how he is.
hilarious.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he probably
He'll
literally
eat that up.
No, yeah.
He'll
he's so
eat that
happy.
up.
He would
Remember
score
that one
on us
time
on
that everybody booed me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to think of a score prediction for tonight.
I think it's gonna be 2-3 Canada.
I don't do predictions like numbers, but I'll say that Canada wins.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Oh, come on, Jill. Give us a number.
I don't
What's the
know.
number?
A number.
Numbers.
Me bullying her into doing a guess I haven't even guessed.
I know,
Yeah,
I'm
like
like,
that. Like,
wait,
you have not said
the
a
only thing that
thing.
pops into my head is make it 10, you cowards.
You can tell me hours. That'd be crazy.
Blowout game.
Do we
10.
think we're gonna see one of those where somebody
Yeah.
scores a
Yeah.
lot?
I think
We
Finn-
I think Canada Finland will be a blowout, just in my honest opinion. Sorry.
Yeah.
Finland.
Yeah, Finland. Oh.
although they have that Saros. He's pretty good. Right? He's
Yeah,
on-
they do have some good goalies in Finland.
I think Canada's gonna win tonight, and I'm gonna say
Damn.
I'll go 4-2 because somebody already said 4-3.
You just texted me 4-2 Canada.
Who?
Brenda.
Brenda!
I said
You and Brenda are like,
Put it in
yes!
the chat.
Brenda, you can put it in the chat. Like,
She's just texting all
Brenda, why don't you just join?
She's trying to help you. We're calling her out. She's like, shh.
Don't say my name.
It's fine, Brenda. I won't let them bully me.
Oh gosh.
I would have more buy-in for the Four Nations face-off if they allowed the Swedish Hockey League's top goal scorer to come and play for Team Sweden right now. I'm just saying.
Who's
Fair
their
enough.
top goal scorer, Abby?
You want to shout him?
Drop it.
Oscar Steen, of course.
Right.
Gotta keep an eye out for Steiner.
Gotta keep an eye out for Steiner.
I'm excited though because it's going to be a great prequel. Is that what it's called? Prequel. Here I go with my words.
To the Olympics.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Before the Olympics, because I'm really excited about the
I'm
Olympics.
so excited for the Olympics.
So this is going to be really, really fun.
Yeah.
My brain just went, when's the Olympics? And I was like, Abby, don't be stupid on air.
On air.
On air. Live on air.
Live on air.
Abby being absolutely idiotic.
That's me every week on here, though. So you know what?
No, don't even start. Do you got anything else to talk about? Does anybody else have any questions
Yeah. Does anyone else
in the chat? How many people are watching?
4,000. No, I don't know.
4,000.
Oh my God.
Don't make me scared.
Don't make me scared. You're making me nervous.
How many? 200?
259.
Okay, so
Ooh.
somebody needs to comment a question.
300.
Or
Come on.
Liv, you have your
Oh, no,
trivia.
that's not math.
Oh, I don't have my
Quick
book.
fire questions.
Wait, I wonder if Brenda has the trivia book with her.
Oh, Brenda, don't you dare.
Brenda, what a trivia
I
question.
asked that, just
Brenda, don't
asked
you
that, and then
dare.
she said she didn't have the book, so I was like, yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
me too.
Brenda's gonna come running in with that book.
She is.
To invade.
It's just you're just gonna see it yeet across the screen.
Wait, I'm waiting.
You're gonna hit her in the face.
It is. It is.
Brenda needs to come make a special appearance.
Yeah.
And tell
Why
the
doesn't
people.
Brenda ask us a question? Brenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brenda.
I know you're in there.
I just heard her giggle.
Everyone loves Brenda.
She's giggling.
Brenda.
Here she comes. I hear the footsteps. Here she comes.
She's zooming.
Yeah, perfect.
Where's the trivia book? Oh, it's down in the kitchen.
We don't need the trivia book.
Oh, wait, does anyone have a favorite TD Garden food for anyone going to Four Nations that maybe hasn't been to TD Garden in a while?
Get the nachos just with cheese and salsa. It's a grown-up Lunchable.
Cheetos popcorn.
Oh, Cheetos popcorn.
Every day.
Cheetos popcorn. Yeah. Pretzels.
For those of you who don't know what Cheetos popcorn is, in the Cheetos test kitchen, they have this big vat and they literally roll popcorn in Cheeto dust.
So good.
Sometimes, if you're lucky, you get a surprise Cheeto in your popcorn. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Oh, what's my favorite thing to get? I don't know. Abby, you can go. Abby has a sandwich named after
She
her.
does.
Yeah.
I do have a sandwich named after me at
It's
TD
a 10 out of
Garden.
10 sandwich.
It's true.
The
If you
Abby-
go to Causeway Carvery and ask for the Abby one, it's like they literally laminated my card because I get it every time because I'm superstitious. And it is a turkey sandwich with bacon, lettuce, and little chips, no pickles on a ciabatta bread. And it is
That is so
Yes,
good.
yes.
Delicious.
No pickles.
no pickles. I'm a
Really?
pickle
He
eater.
told you it was gonna come flying
Not
in.
the book.
We give you the pickles.
I'll say my favorite is
Do they still do the mac and cheese? Because that was our favorite.
oh,
for-
mac and cheese is really
It
good.
was solid.
Don't worry, I'm gonna.
Or
I'm
the
gonna-
chicken tenders. Their
Or-
chicken tenders have gone a lot better.
They
Last
have.
year we didn't eat them
They have.
because
Yeah,
they
it's
were.
been a while since I had those chicken tenders.
Even Liv had them, and Liv was like wary of eating
The
them.
ones
and
on
she
my
liked
floor,
them.
they're very well seasoned this year. I will say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they are very good. This
Very
Okay.
good.
I'm only gonna ask ones that you guys would
Don't
probably-
know.
I'm gonna look.
It is. She's gonna ask something from like the 80s or the 90s. And I'm gonna be sitting here like I don't know.
The chat can answer too.
The
But
chat.
you realize
That's gonna make us look stupid.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Brenda, I was counting on you not to bring the book.
Here's
Here's the book.
this one, guys. We asked this one in the last one because this one is just so easy. Do you want me to ask it to specifically one of you, or you'll just?
We'll
No,
answer as a
Not
group.
specifically.
We'll answer as a group.
I was like, I'll forget every word ever.
What is it like the year that the Bruins were founded or something?
Sure is. What year was it?
1924.
24.
Period, guys. See,
Why is it the 1928 club?
right.
Is that the that's not the Celtics, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, they're from
anything about
beverages.
basketball.
Oh, in which year did the Bruins win their first Stanley Cup? It's on the banners. This is fair game.
You think I look at the banners?
I look at them every day. What was it? 3 years after that?
Wait, I can give you options. Hold on. I'll give you the options. There's 4.
1927. 19. Am I close?
Yeah, you're close.
Who's Googling? I can hear the Twitter fingers.
Hands up, everyone. Hands up.
Is it up or down?
It's 1928, isn't it?
29.
29.
29.
29.
Okay, I'll do one more. That's a tricky one.
I'm not gonna ask.
Oh, we just got one wrong that we look at every time we're at TD Gardens.
Right.
That's embarrassing.
All of us look every time.
Oh. This one is so easy. The towering defender Zdeno Chara is known by which literal nickname?
Big Z.
Big Z.
Yeah.
I got it first.
You know what, Jill?
I got it first.
The chat gets points
Oh.
up for not answering.
Shout out to Team Brenda. She Googled for me that the 1928 club is named after the season in which the Boston Bruins played their first games at the Boston Garden.
Oh, thank you, Brenda.
that's cool.
Thank you, Brenda.
The more you know.
The more you know, because I sure as heck didn't know.
No. But the espresso martinis at 1928 Club. Go
10 out of 10. Shout out to my man.
Phenomenal.
Shout out to Daniel. A1
10 out
mixologist.
of 10 recommend.
A1.
Have not got. Maybe that's why they're not winning because I haven't gotten one this season.
Probably.
Actually, I think my favorite thing at TD Garden is the gelato on Jill's floor.
Ooh.
Facts.
Jill's floor is my favorite in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty decent time up there. Shout out to Boston Garden Society.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Seriously, shout out.
Shout out to all my peeps.
Yep.
Oh, while I'm shouting out, I'm giving one shout out to the Hoyok Paperman.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
Shout out to the Hoyok Paperman, Western Mass Senior A. Follow
Yes.
us on Instagram and Facebook at
Yes.
Hoyok Paperman.
Oh,
She
Double down. Had to make it even.
any oh, my mother also texted me salt water. For context, if we ever talk about a salt water, it's
Salt
really
water.
water, lime,
Hot
or
water.
in a little can. Don't have more than one. Don't.
Yeah, don't do it. I don't know
It
how I
Warning.
used to drink
will
those.
take you out.
Now
Yeah,
I
I had
can,
half of one and I was like, I'm all
I
set.
can't even smell it now. I can't. And last year, that was like my drink of choice.
Now
it's
a
like
trigger.
the best thing I can compare it to is like a warhead. Like it is like
They are very like.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
like, you know, like
But for the people going to the Four Nations, if you want to drink and you want more for your buck, get a cut water.
Get a hot
You can
water.
get
Yeah,
one and be
water.
good.
yeah, like literally.
Save your money and still have a good time.
Uh-huh. Ooh.
Well,
That's so
8:04, so we can wrap it up so everyone can get to go watch the game.
The game.
Really quick, rapid fire. Are you optimistic about the rest of the season after this break? Yes or no?
No.
I love the sign.
No.
No.
No, I don't think so.
No, purely because I'm the type of person where if I prepare for the worst
True,
and
true.
then I
I'm the
am
same way, yeah.
pleasantly surprised,
That's
then
true.
everything works out well. If I aim for, yep, we're going to be on fire, we're winning the Stanley Cup, and then we absolutely blow it,
That's
I'm
true.
gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, I feel like
I'd rather prepare for disappointment and then be overjoyed than prepare for joy and be thoroughly.
That's true.
2023, I thought we were going to win it all, and then our dreams are crushed. So
Listen,
every
man, my first
never get my hopes up.
My first season for
2025
tickets
is the year of being a
2018,
hater,
2019.
2018, 2019.
That was
too,
my
yeah,
first
that
year
one.
of tickets. I watched them lose on home ice. No one will ever recover from that. That is
No.
a trauma that
That game.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Deep trauma.
Deep
Yeah,
trauma.
you never know. It's the Bruins.
Yeah, that is
You
true.
never know with them, honestly.
Expect the worst and then be surprised.
Right, hopefully.
After all
Worked
their
for us so
vacation.
far.
Get what you get. You don't get upset. That's
Yeah.
what they want us to do.
Yeah.
This is your team.
This is who we are.
You gotta ride it out.
Yep. Because guess what? I'll be
Hopefully
back
soon.
next year, so I'll
Yep.
be
Colby
different.
is going off.
Colby agrees.
Yeah.
Colby.
Alrighty. So we'll wrap it up. As always, thank you. First, thank you for coming on. Thank you to everyone who watched and who chatted it up in the chat with us.
Thanks,
Shout out to BSEN_617 for making this podcast happen. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Front Frederick, and you can find the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Causeway Chirps. You guys want to shout out yourselves one more time?
You can find me on Twitter at AliciaMay31.
You can find me on Twitter at NatalieZico7.
Jillian, 2 N's to be.
And Abby Pomeroy 1.
All right, guys. Hopefully you guys are all going to go watch Four Nations. Have fun. And I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
What happens after a Boston Bruin win as Jeremy Swayman and Lena Zolmark have their trademark celebration.